Once upon a time, there was a young man who found himself overwhelmed by the weight of his problems. Every day felt like a struggle, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't escape the constant worries that plagued his mind. Desperate for answers, he decided to seek the guidance of a renowned zenmaster, hoping to find some relief. When the young man arrived at the master's small, peaceful temple nestled in the mountains, he poured out his heart. "Master," he said, "my life is filled with problems. Every day it seems like there is a new one waiting for me. I can't find peace no matter what I do. How do I get rid of all these problems?" The Zen master smiled, his face calm and serene. "Come with me," he said simply, leading the young man through the temple garden. They walked in silence until they reached a small pond with crystal-clear water. The master bent down, scooped up a handful of salt, and handed it to the young man. "Throw this into the pond," he instructed. Confused but trusting the master, the young man did as he was told. The salt scattered into the water, dissolving instantly. "Now," the master said, "drink from the pond." The young man hesitated, but then knelt by the water's edge and took a sip. Immediately, he spit it out. "It's bitter," he exclaimed in disgust. "I can't drink this." The Zen master only nodded, his face still peaceful. Without saying a word, he motioned for the young man to follow him again. They walked deeper into the garden until they came to a wide, flowing river. The master handed him another handful of salt. "Now, throw this into the river," he said. The young man obeyed, watching as the salt disappeared into the rushing water. "Now, drink from the river," the master instructed. The young man knelt by the river and took a drink. This time, the water was fresh and pure. "How does it taste?" the master asked. "It tastes good," the young man replied, still puzzled. "The salt didn't affect the river like it did the pond." The Zen master smiled gently. "The problems in your life are like the salt. They are always present, but where you focus your mind is like the pond or the river. If you focus on your problems and keep them close, like the salt in the small pond, they make everything bitter. But if you expand your mind, like the vast river, those same problems become insignificant in the larger flow of life." The young man stood there in silence, absorbing the master's words. "So, it's not about getting rid of my problems, but about how I deal with them?" he asked, finally understanding. "Yes," the master replied. "You cannot stop the challenges and difficulties from coming into your life, but you can choose how you let them affect you. If your mind is small and narrow, every problem will seem huge and unbearable, just like the pond that couldn't handle even a little salt. But if your mind is open and vast, like the river, the problems will flow through you without overwhelming your peace." The young man bowed deeply in gratitude. "Thank you, Master. I now understand that my focus has been too small, and I've let my problems consume me. From now on, I will try to be like the river, letting the challenges pass through without letting them ruin my peace." The master placed a gentle hand on the young man's shoulder. "Remember," he said, "life will always give you salt, but it's up to you whether you choose to live in a pond or a river." As the young man walked back through the peaceful garden, he felt